government parties, opposition parties are all keeping their head down. And people have had enough, and they're really looking for an opportunity to have their voice heard. And that's what the likes of tonight is. Standing room only here in Manor Kilbride tonight. It's horrendous that communities are having to do this to have their voice heard.
So I'm here with Councillor John Snell and Councillor Jerry O'Neill. We're in Kilbride, County Wicklow. Can you tell us what just happened at the meeting here?
Well, the whole idea of the meeting was to get the information out to the people of the area on the Cllrs Lodge and the Crooks Lane and the Kilbride Army Camp, which are just in the area here, in the immediate area. And it was an attempt to get the information out to those people, exactly what's happening. There's huge concern. I've been contacted by many people in the area, so I thought that the best thing to do was invite John over here tonight and we'll go through it.
And Councillor Snell, we heard a lot of concerns being raised, particularly from people who live in very close proximity to some of the asylum centres around here. What were they saying?
Yeah, so again, look, it's the same story that's been replicated north, east, south and west of the county and indeed the country. So you had people here the most nearest to these IPAS centres, given their heartfelt emotions in regards to how it's affecting their day-to-day life. Some people, you heard a lady there, 25 years living up near the IPAS centre in West Wicklow here in Manor Kilbride, and the effect that it's having on her day-to-day life. And look, it's happening in Newtown Mount Kennedy as we speak. It was threatening to happen in Anamo, in Arklow, Rathdrum. We have Cllrs here that we discussed tonight. We've also Crooks Lane on our doorstep here. And the stories are the same. The situation is the same. Unfortunately, what's happening is that the elected members, government parties, opposition parties are all keeping their head down. And people have had enough, and they're really looking for an opportunity to have their voice heard. And that's what the likes of tonight is. Standing room only here in Manor Kilbride tonight. It was the same in the Broca Centre in Lara at a meeting that you would have been at yourself. And it's horrendous that communities are having to do this to have their voice heard. But the reality is that, ministers, TDs, councillors, party members of all parties, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the Greens who are in government, Sinn Féin, People for Profit, Labour and Social Democrats are running for the hills, and nobody can understand why. Stand up and be counted and stand with the people, because what's happening is wrong. It's wrong. It's a money-making vehicle for a lot of people. The migration policy, it's a failed policy that they're implementing. There's a lot of people getting very wealthy out of this, and unfortunately the effects is being felt on the ground now in communities, and it will be felt into the future for our children and our grandchildren. If people don't say enough's enough, we need to put a halt to this and stand up and be counted, because that's what we would have been relayed here tonight to us. We're just two independent public representatives, one from the west of the hills, one from the east, and the reality is it's the same no matter where you are. It's the same story, and it's getting to the stage where, a national event is happening in Dublin and people are just sick to the back teeth of it, and I think a lot of people will turn up to that.
And Councillor O'Neill, if I can ask you one very quick question. I heard concerns raised here about planning permission and how locals are having a hard time finding planning permission when, these kind of asylum projects are essentially being thrown up. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, but again, this is a monthly occurrence there where people apply for planning, and in this area here on the perimeter of the Blessed Lakes, which is the water supply for Dublin, the Ballymore Eustace. It's an ongoing issue there where it's so difficult to get planning. In fact, there was a family here tonight, their son has been refused planning, and he only living maybe 700-800 yards away from where the development in Cllrs Lodge is happening, where you have 30-odd houses built without planning, and just down the road from there, this shop, he wants to build and live, at home there on his own land, and he's been refused now. Only just on Friday there, he got notice that he cannot build on his own land. So there is a terrible lot of frustration and annoyance. It's a difficult thing. I'm involved in this planning for a long time, helping out people there who, go seek planning. But it's so frustrating. And then, there's a crowd of 200 people here tonight, and they know all about how difficult it is to get planning in the area. And, to witness what's happening on their doorstep, the thoughts of it, 30-odd houses without any planning whatsoever by a mighty, wealthy organisation, it's not right. It's morally wrong.